Welcome to the day 2 of the challenge, Finding Your Calm, the Power of One. And today we will be discovering the tools, the things, how to quiet your mind chatter so that you can improve the quality of your thoughts. So the day 1 was about increasing the self-awareness and why we're doing this. Like, we cannot change if we don't know what to change. And self-awareness sometimes is those are the aha moments. Oh, okay, right, this triggers me, this blocking me from doing that, this is how I see myself. And self-awareness, just coming back and recapping on that, is about actually not only doing the tools and understanding your own personality, but also getting the feedback from other people, because we all have blind spots. We don't know. And then other people can tell us, hopefully in a good, positive way, that and constructive way, what potentially we could change. Like, I've noticed that when you talk about this, you are nervous, or you do not allow other people to speak, that you want to speak all the time, and I want to be listened to rather than you speaking all that. I mean, whatever that is, it's all good, right? But we don't necessarily like receiving the feedback, right? Because it just makes us uncomfortable. We have thoughts about ourselves. We want to be perfect. And it's like, well, why she does it? Why she thinks that? Or he thinks, I'm not doing that. Rather than approaching this with curiosity, right? Now, we don't have to necessarily be changing if this is against us. It's about consideration, about getting curious about yourself, about your trigger points, and then really allowing yourself to be in that space of awareness. So it's about increasing that self-awareness. So let me share that presentation with you so that you know what I'm talking about today. And it could be some fun things because, well, at the end of the day, there are some nice tools and sometimes can be, the tools may not make us comfortable, but that's okay, right? It's about getting fun, being fun, in the fun, being in a relaxed zone. And so like, oh, that looks silly. That's okay. We want to bring that out of ourselves. There isn't any strict rules to actually be doing some of those things. So, okay. So I hope you see my presentation, and it's interesting. So the day 2 is about mind chatter. And I will be talking about some of the tools: meditation, body movement, CBT, journaling, conversation tool. And I will be introducing another personal development tool. It's Insights Profile. It's all based on very good research. It really is used by organization quite often, where people want to identify themselves, where they sit on this kind of the energy thing. I mean, there are so many personal or personality tools, who we are, but I found some of those tools good in relation to others. We don't exist in the vacuum. And no matter if you are one single person business or you have a team of other people, which is even more important, right? It's about understanding yourself in relation to others, in my opinion, because there are a lot of self-development tools and a lot of personality profiles, which tells you who you are, rather than tells you how you exist within other people. And of course, this tool is about who you are, because it's about 4 energies. But then it also shows you, or can show you, how you relate to others, because they may have different balance of those 4 energies. And that's where it gets really interesting. Okay, so conscious working on your thoughts versus buffering. And I wanted just to mention that because we have a lot of thoughts about ourselves and a lot of them are uncomfortable. First of all, we not always have the time to think about ourselves, right? Because, well, I don't know, do I really want to do it? I'm not the best person in the world. I'm not the best mother. I'm not the best wife. Like, we see a lot of negatives, and it's very difficult to prize ourselves. But I want you to take the ego out of equation. This is where your ego is telling you certain things, but also you berating yourself. Or you may, on the other hand, you may be, I'm fantastic. I don't need to change. I love myself, and which is also good. in a way, or could be a challenging concept, because it means that your mind is closed to further learning. So, and when you hit a brick wall or something that is really blocking you, or it's very difficult, then you may not necessarily have the resilience to progress further, right? So buffering is the protection against stressful experiences. Buffering means like, okay, so I'm not, is numbing out. And I actually took part in the health expo in my local community. And I had a conversation about health. A lot of people are very health conscious in a way that they know what to do. They don't necessarily take this as priority. I know I have to do it. I will do it one day, right? I'm numbing out with food and, shakes and a lot of sugar because this is how I've been taught, and I don't know, and I don't feel comfortable with any other way, or I'm not aware of it. Right. So we can binge eat, drinking, excess socializing, excess exercising, even that, because it takes our minds off the problem or the thought. So the first tool is meditation, and meditation is improving the quality of your attention. It doesn't have to be sitting still. A lot of people find it difficult, and it's okay, because we will have those thoughts. Like, I sit in meditation and suddenly I'm thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner. This is completely natural. The more you do it, the more you will be able to take those thoughts in and let them go. So you will spend more time in with no kind of thoughts coming to you all the time, or you will be able to shift them very quickly. There is the dynamic meditation, and this is combined with body movement. So the idea of this, that we move our body and then we like freeze, stay still, and we connect with our breath, we close our eyes, and we just feel our bodies. Yeah. Now I'm going to do it in a very gentle way. I can be a little bit of silly at times. So I want you to think about the music you have in your mind. Like, it could be, I don't know, Miley Cyrus, Flowers, whatever that is. Have it in your mind, and maybe move your body to your favorite music. And then when I say stop, you basically stand still. You can close your eyes actually during the whole exercise. But when I say stop, right, stand, freeze, and breathe and connect with your body. So it could be a crazy moves. I mean, the more energetic, the better, because then we can, have that energy within ourselves. So let's do it. It's going to be fun. But, take the inner child, right? It's like, let's do it, rather than, oh, I'm not going to do it because it's silly, right? We quite often restrict ourselves to certain things because other things are just stupid or silly, and I'm not going to do it. Okay, so close your eyes, hear your music in your head, and let's dance. Let's move our heads and our hands in the air, just really more energetically. You can do it. You can imagine yourself being in the free space. Nobody sees you. Like, I move myself here and there. I love myself in that movement, right? Feel your body, and then you stop. You freeze and take a deep breath. So this is the example of the exercise you can do, right? So you can do it in few different phases. You can do it for 10 minutes. And that's what I do. I put headphones on. So I have my music in here. I dance. I sometimes even sing and scream, and I just freeze and breathe and connect with my body. Honestly, one of the best dynamic meditation I have done for myself. It's a very simple rule. It can get some more complicated the way you do it, and how you do it, for how long you do it. Start with a simple thing, right? Okay, I have a fly somewhere. Come on, fly. Okay. So cognitive behavioral therapy. So one of the simplest talking therapy, teaching you to recognize your own behavior and thought patterns. So it's a through questioning, you can stop and think, reflect, and change a thought. Cognitive behavioral therapy doesn't give you answers, right? So it asks you a question, really, and then through the questioning, and there is a book, let me show you that. There is quite good, like, for example, how to cope with anxiety. So this is Olivia Telford, and it's cognitive behavior. It's one of the simplest therapy. It is actually quite accessible. Well, I don't know, quite accessible, but it is recognized by public health services, because this is where people can train in it. And through simple things and recognizing your behaviors and patterns, you can start changing. Coaching goes further because it basically helps you to change. Whereas cognitive behavioral therapy, the way I understand it, really is about talking and recognizing first. So bringing some of the behavior into the awareness. Dance. So, right. So this is dynamic meditation. We've done it here. So this is the same thing, right? So it could be normal. So here it could be that meditation when you sit still. And I love guided meditation for calm. It just keeps me going because I have the progress report, and I just love it. And it gives me a theme every morning, which I can meditate on. And then this is what we've done, is just dance, freeze, and breath, and body movement, and some laugh. Like there is this laughing yoga. Oh, just try a little bit of laugh, and it just brightens your day, right? And I love it too. Journaling. So writing has proven therapeutic benefits, and it doesn't matter whether you write, beautiful full sentences, but or bullet points or quotes or whatever. Morning pages is really kind of putting everything from your brain when it's fresh, doesn't have to have a structure, on the pages, usually about 5. So all of the thoughts. Yeah. And you can use the prompt. I mean, so many times, like, I have this thought in my mind, I'm going to go and write it down because it's silly. I want to really understand what is behind that thought, and I can come back to it. Like, if you have and carry everything so imagine that your head is like a rucksack. When it's empty, it's nice and easy to carry. When it's just full and it's heavy, it's so much more difficult to carry it. So it's lots of bricks, lots of thoughts, and we carry all of that in our head and don't put anything on the paper, and it's just is there, and it's just really kind of it not helping you with mental health. So how am I feeling today? What brings me joy? You can have some personal beliefs, what you would like to consider and explore. And this is what I'm doing at the beginning of spring, like how I'm going into the spring. What is the important part for me during the spring? Then you have the conversation. So talking to someone can offer a different perspective, usually helps you not to feel alone in what you are going through. It's good to take your thoughts out of your head and hear them spoken. So, sharing your vulnerability helps you to be authentic. We all struggle with different things in our life, but it's good to share. It's just basically a better way to approach. Of course, you have to feel safe to share, right? Now, a little bit of increasing self-awareness. This is personal development tool. This is Insight Profile. And this is where it's basically allows you to identify what are your energies, right? So it's based on the 4 colors related to your own energy. Let me just, I will be back in a minute with the presentation. So, okay, so I'm coming back to the Insight Profile. So the self-awareness journey is it really is a kind of the insights discovery profile you can use for self-awareness journey. And it is a really good tool, and it's psychometric tool. So it's based on the psychology of Carl Jung. And And it really is built for people to understand themselves better. And honestly, it is used across organizations because it's so good, right? And so the really key principle in this is about, and I think if you go into that, website, you will be able to create your own profile. Don't know whether it's paid or not, but basically it's to identifying the key energies within you. And quite often people, when doing the test, they can identify themselves as being more blue and red, or maybe red, or maybe more green and yellow. So when it comes to the healthcare industry, a lot of people actually are in this yellow and green. Yeah, because this is the people in the healthcare industry, they come because they're caring, they're patient, they relax, they want to help other people. But then people here, right, with it, this is where people are driven, so things happen, right? Because those people are really just like, I'm caring for you. But those people will say, well, I'm also caring, but actually I will make things happen, right? And we need both. It's not that people from here should change to there. It's just more about the awareness. So if you have a team and people where their energies are on different levels, they can complement each other. So you have a team and you have a task, so you know who to put in, for example, charge. And I'm not saying that should be blue and red. It could be those people as well, so that they can, because we all have 4 energies, but some energies are stronger in some people and some are weaker, but we still can reach out for those energies. So when you think about the nature, that will be water, so cooling the fire, so really kind of, I guess that kind of power. Then you have the yellow, which is for me a very bright and cheerful color, and the green, very calming and relaxing. So we want people leaders be aware of people and be more self-aware, and vice versa, right? So, and it could be any combination of these colors, whether it's here or there. But then if I'm a bit more blue and red, for example, I know that if my team does this assessment, I know that Mary could be more green and yellow. Tom could be more kind of blue because he's very analytical, and George could be more kind of red, so he will be wanting to get in. So when I bring them together, I talk about this energy and say, listen, this is our tendencies. This is who we naturally are. But you want to use your energies in a very positive way, in such a way that you communicate well with your team and with yourself, but you're also aware of your own blind spots and what are the key energies of your team, so you can use their talents and gifts. This is self-awareness tool, right? And really can help you on your own personal journey. And if you do it within the team, this is where the really good benefit comes out of it. Now, I must say that when I look into the kind of personal coaching, this is not always used. I mean, sometimes they use the energies, right? But I not necessarily explain the thing because I thought, oh, it's boring because it's corporate and all of that. It is there for a reason, right? And one problem with the SMEs, so small, medium-sized business owners, like, I'm going to throw away everything what corporate has, including the strategy, the finances, and I'll just see whether I can float in the sea of whatever. And this is where a lot of businesses fail, because those are tools have been working for ages. In the small business, and when you are the owner, you can decide how you want to implement those tools and how they can be helpful, right? Really predominantly for your own benefit and understanding where you are. But at some point, when your business grows, you're going to have other people working with you, and you want them to work with good energy they have, in their zone of genius and using their talents and gifts, so that you have a good team. And honestly, it's probably one of the most challenging thing I had in business, because although I was quite often frustrated in the corporate that certain things were not going as they should, and we were not complementing each other, it was a bit like, let's fight here, let's firefight here and there and everywhere, and there is no time to put any of the skills, whereas we think that in business we can do it. I can tell you it's probably not being done in a way that it should, because it's sort of rejected on the basis that it's too corporate, so boring. Not whatever, this is not corporate. This is about who you are as a person, and also understanding other people better. Okay, so this tool going to be explored a little bit more in my program, because and it would be fantastic to see people actually doing the inside profile, because as part of it, I'm going to go and do and I identify my energies, and then we can have a conversation how they can be used. So homework, try meditation, go to inside profile and self-test yourself. And then obviously I have a group, the Awaken Life Collective, and then you can post the results in the group and see how we are. Now, this is the my program, which already started. But the thing is that if you want to join, you can still buy it and you're going to get the materials, but you not necessarily will be able to have all the live sessions. But it's there for you if you want it. So there will be some pre-recorded materials. Yeah, so that's the day 2. And I hope that you find it useful, maybe a little bit rushed here and there, but we're going to cover a little bit more on during the course, obviously, because it's, increasing yourself, knowing yourself better, increasing your self-awareness, getting curious about your thoughts and who you are, and how work better in this ever complex requirement and environment as well. I think it's the key. It's interesting. I had a conversation yesterday. So obviously AI, which is artificial intelligence, is coming through, right? It's going to be used and more in businesses, and everyone is wondering, is it going to take my job or that job? So in a certain way, it's interesting that I think it's going to be used in a lot of different things. But one of the things is that human interaction, in terms of the feelings and emotion and awareness, it's going to be pre-set, pre-programmed within that, whatever is using the knowledge from many sources within a few seconds. And I used it yesterday, and I had trying to have the conversation about some different things. And yes, the conversation is very comprehensive and all of that, but it doesn't have feelings and emotions. Something I want to try is about asking about myself as a person, because I have like an online presence. I'll see whether it knows, or he doesn't have probably a gender thing. But interesting times are coming. I don't think we should be afraid of technology. We should know how to collaborate and work. I don't think that, all the people suddenly will be replaced. We still have to be working in it. So this is really like a self-awareness, your own personal development, that whatever it is in the artificial intelligence won't tell you who you are, because that's what you need to know yourself, and how you relate to yourself and how you relate to others, right? It's not going to be replaced. So very interesting times, and knowing ourselves better, I think it will help us to avoid confusion big times on who am I in this world, in this ever complex world. All right, take care, and I'm inviting to the day 3, and if you want to watch, there is a day 1 already recorded. Take care and all the best.